Testing, testing. I'm here in my echo room trying to get this going for the finale tonight. Hopefully the echo's not too bad, but it's probably gonna be. I also want to say I'm watching on Paramount Plus live TV, which I feel like has a delay, so good shot I have a delay tonight. Also want to say I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan and they're playing right now, so you might get bonus watch along of me being very annoyed with the Dallas Cowboys as this all goes on tonight. Just what I wanted to see before we go live. Some political ads. Back to back. Hate it. I feel like this is laggy, so hopefully y'all could hear me okay. If anybody is in the chat, wants to let me know if anybody's watching the real CBS, let me know when the actual episode starts. Hello, Mr. Ty. Glad you could hear me. Are you watching live on CBS? Hello, Daryl Maddox. What's up? Well, while this is going on or not going on, I'm going to go watch the Cowboys, even though they're going to piss me off. For anyone that doesn't know, I am sadly a Cowboys fan. And they're also playing right now. Not that I want to watch them, it's advertising anyway. Well, thank you to Carrie out there who loves the channel. Thank you to your mother. Who are you rooting for, Daryl? Well, you can't watch the live stream of CBS. Hello, Latasha. How are you? Well, I don't know if I have a delay on my Paramount Plus, but the episode is starting now. The hostess with not the mostest, Julie Chen, is here. Hello, Cheryl. You think Ashley's going to win? If she makes the end, I think she got a good shot. And I'm glad you love my brutal takes. I try not to be brutal all the time, but it gets hard. Good to see the Ashley love so far in the chat. I'm assuming Ashley's your last draft pick remaining, Latasha. I'm glad you're also brutal, Cheryl. Honestly, the world needs more honesty. Another Ashley fan. Let's go, Kizzy. I can't believe we're gonna watch Ashley win. Well, spoiler alert for anyone that doesn't know. A part of a competition. Stupid twist. It's crazy that a fake alliance like the judges really did make the end. And that Vince really wanted it to be real at the end, even though I feel like it hurt him more than it helped him the whole time. I agree, Cheryl. This is one of the most I've been excited for a finale in a long time. And Vince does need therapy. What's up, Morgan? Morgan in the chat, are you rooting for Morgan in the game? What's up, Bonita52? Yes, press the like button. Latasha, I'm assuming it's going to be Keanu, Rachel, Will. I don't know the third. What's up, Ray? You think Vince was acting the whole time? Uh, I don't think so. I think there was definitely some acting. I think he was. I don't think Vince was acting. I think he was like overdoing it, kind of like a wrestler. When a wrestler has a persona, they overdo it to make a character. I feel like that's what Vince was doing. For the record, I didn't vote for America's favorite player. Sorry, everybody. I think Ray. I think Vince does have money, or at least his parents do. Morgan, you're rooting against Vince. That makes sense. Good shot, Vince. Good try. Ray, are you watching live? How are you watching in LA? I mean, I guess he could have been lying, Cheryl. But I kind of, well, yeah, I don't think he was lying. There used to be websites I shall not name that you could watch live in LA when I lived there, but they didn't always work. Honestly, I can't do spinning either, Vince. I would suck at this competition. I would have been like Nicole on Survivor if any of you watched Survivor this past week with the spinning competition. Yeah, this wasn't your comp, Ashley. I agree. Good luck, Ray. Hope you find it. You know, Morgan said Keanu would win this comp, but I don't know if that's true. I feel like this was definitely Morgan's comp to win, even against Keanu. Morgan is a beast late in the game. Hello, okay, it has started. Oh, then I'll try and get more play-by-play. I thought you were watching live, Cheryl. Sorry. Well, if you want to know, Morgan just dominated this competition. Although Vince hang on for 53 minutes, so he did well. And here he goes, crying in his fucking confessional, too. He's fucking blowing it. It's like a helicopter that you're hanging from with your legs on one side, your arms on the other, and it's spinning around, which is why I said I would have puked during this competition. Yeah, horrible. It's horrible that Cody's going to be with the jury, too. Well, it's going to commercial, so that means I have to go watch my Cowboys lose for a few minutes. Yay! Hello, action packed. Yeah, Vince is very pathetic. I feel like he thinks he's sympathetic because it worked so well this season, kept him around the whole season, made people believe him after lying to their faces and screwing them over. But I don't know if he thinks he's sympathetic for TV. He probably does. He is a professional victim. Are you watching live action packed? Sorry for anyone that is joining. I'm watching the Cowboys game during commercials. Not that I should. Damn. What's wrong, Ray? You rooting for the Cowboys too? Or you couldn't find the website, I'm assuming. Yeah, a lot of those websites don't work anymore. Well, the Cowboys at least did something good, so I could take a little breather and go back to this episode that's still advertising. What's up, Chocolate Capricorn? I assume you're rooting against Vince, Chocolate Capricorn? All right, we're back. Cody. Nobody cares about Cody. Well, here's our jury segment. Let's see how Cody pisses me off today. Hello, Jazz Lady. Action packed. Their commercials are for old people. CBS's commercials in general are for old people. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Who will be excited for Ava? Not Will. Yeah, Ray, I want Vince to get third, but in order to get third, I think Morgan has to win the final HOH. Well, at least they know Morgan's on fire. Rachel's looking for a well-rounded player to win. Exactly what I said. Lauren wants accountability, so if Vince makes the end, he's gonna have to take accountability to win the game. And I don't think he's gonna, because chicken sit players don't do that. I don't know, Mr. Taiwan Cody of all people. They said, let's choose one of the most boring winners ever. I mean, Ava's not wrong. Morgan could get paranoid sometimes. Callie is saying she can't separate Morgan and Vince's moves, which is what Ashley's been saying. If she does take Vince to jury, how she's going to explain her game versus Vince's. Well, I guess the mastermind couldn't host Natasha. Everyone thinks Vince has played a good game. Exactly. Ava's been on it. I shit on her a lot, but Ava sounds like me a few days ago talking about Vince's game. Unnecessary lies. Rachel doesn't want a bitter jury because she thinks it's Survivor. Rachel sounds dumb. Not gonna lie, because Dr. Will did not play as messy of a game as Vince. Yes, let's finally talk about Ashley. Ava, Ashley's biggest voucher. Exactly action packed. But Rachel actually doesn't know strategy, and she never has. Well, see, they've already ratted out that Ashley's a lawyer. I don't know, Jazz Lady. Yeah, apparently Will's already told the jury that Ashley's a lawyer, so much for her lawyer thing and her. Yeah, action packed. It's one of the better stories you could ever have in a game. First target to the final two, possibly. It's a tough story to beat in a final speech if she uses the speech well. What's up, Always Johns? This is your doing that I'm here tonight. Well, let me unpack some of my thoughts from that little jury segment. I thought Rachel sounded very dumb. Rachel is not very, she's not a strategic person, never has been. So her comparing Vince's game to Dr. Will doesn't make sense because, as Action Pack said, Will did moves when it was necessary, not the unnecessary lying. And I said this in a comment, I think yesterday or the day before, that in the history of Survivor Big Brother, nobody has played a game like Vince's, especially if they didn't own their game and won. Literally never. Some people have even admitted their game and still lost, going back to Boston Rob on the first All Stars of Survivor. Uh, Tyler kind of owned his game, not really enough by the end, though. So, yeah, I don't know. It would be unprecedented for Vince to win while not owning his game. Chocolate Capricorn says, I can tell this group respects comps. I mean, with this season, I'm not surprised. The show wants these people to respect competitions. They want this to be such a competition show. Dedication says, Will is such a something. Like, why, bro? Why? I don't know. I don't know. Because the entire game, Will kept information to himself, even when he shouldn't have, when he should have been helping his allies with information. Will would just tell people what they wanted to hear. So I don't know why Will ratted out the fact that Ashley's a lawyer. Action Pack said, Rachel is saying what she thought people wanted to hear. Yeah, she is. Jazz Lady says, exactly, concur with your thoughts on Rachel's outlook of the game. Cheryl, thank you, Cheryl. Drew says, anyone know where I can watch the finale? I'm out of the States at the moment. Ray was trying to figure that out, but I don't know if he figured that out, unfortunately. I agree, Didi. Will was kind of useless. Will was a useless ally. And it seems like he's still a useless ally in the jury house as well. I agree, action packed. A bitter jury is a sign of a bad gameplay. The jury is still a part of the game. Do I sometimes get very annoyed with the bitter jury? Yes. Actually, I don't get annoyed with the bitter jury. If the entire jury is bitter, there's probably a reason for it. If one person is bitter, then I kind of feel some type of way, which happens from time to time. I could feel some type of way that time when it's just like a bitter juror. But if the whole jury is bitter, it is for a reason. What's up, Lori? Go watch Lori on the Traders OCG on this channel. Drew says Ashley's reveal will be so lackluster now. Yeah, it's unfortunate. So hopefully she has a good speech besides the whole lawyer thing. Okay, I think it's back. I still want to check this cowboy game real quick. The Cowboys still doing jack shit, so back to the finale. Let's see Ashley versus Vince in part 2 of the HOH. Riley's there, action packed. He's been in all the photos. The cast has been making TikToks with Riley. Even Zach, who said he was going to avoid Riley. They're all clout chasers, per usual. They did it, Frankie. They did it. Dedication says, Will is such a bitch for that. Like, why the F would you say that? I don't know, man. That really just did it for me. Dedication really hates Will tonight. And he might be in the top 3 for America's favorite player. I agree, Cheryl. He should not have stolen her thunder. I agree. Always, Johns. We don't need the mastermind. Yeah, Drew, they're all going to be together after the finale. The only thing I care about is Vince and Morgan after the finale. What kind of awkwardness happens between them? Are they actually going to try and get together? Will Will try and beg Kelsey to come back if he doesn't win tonight? If Morgan doesn't win tonight? So it's a puzzle challenge or memory and puzzle challenge, kind of. Drew, you think Lauren's in the top 3? Honestly, with the way America votes, I wouldn't be surprised because they'd be pissing me off on Love Island games the way America votes. Yeah, sure. We're gonna see what the soap opera has. Do you think Morgan and Vince will be the 2 that appear on The Bold and the Beautiful? They should be because they provided soap opera this season. I must not have been paying attention to these rules. Yeah, dedication. Rachel probably also loves comps because that's the only thing she's ever been good at until this season. Esther says, I saw Riley on one of those pre-jurors TikTok and just clicked thumbs down. As you should have, Esther. Good job. Uh, Drew says Facebook is obsessed with Lauren and Keanu. It tracks for Facebook. Cheryl says, I think if there was any chance of them being together, he blew it in the last few days when she had to continuously console him. I would hope so. As people have said, Morgan should have gotten the ick this past few days. If she didn't, then poor Morgan. But Morgan has talked about on feeds how she doesn't want another toxic relationship. So I would hope she sees the red flags. I like the way Ashley's kicking her feet. Ashley got to kick a little harder though in this competition. Well, Ashley had to come from behind on this comp. I would hate to do this competition in those suits unless they have air conditioning on. Yeah, action packed. Morgan's family does need to keep her away from Vince. I think her mom would try. Yeah, you're right, Miss Saint. They are evenly matched here. I doubt it, Morgan. Morgan in the chat. I don't think Julie will ask Riley any tough questions. He tried to get away from the interviews. Yeah, she's only asked a tough question like Big Brother 15, and that was about the only time. Exactly true. Riley did have a hell of an edit. Vince is panicking on this challenge. Good to hear that, always Johns, that Morgan's friends are trying to stop the shipping of Morgan and Vince. Yeah, you're right, action packed. But honestly, I was only half paying attention because I'm talking, but the directions kind of were confusing. I want Morgan to win the final HOH and Morgan and Ashley final two, and then I don't care who wins, honestly. Oh. You're right, Morgan. Catherine's friends and family couldn't stop her from going to Oklahoma for Riley. Yeah, Morgan would have won this competition, but the odds are Morgan has to win this final competition tonight, right? Well, I'm glad Ashley just read the rules over. Vince is having a breakdown during this challenge. Yeah, Cheryl, Morgan does have to win or she's getting the boot from Ashley. They're showing some of it. It's a continuous meltdown. I mean, I do get the frustration from Vince, but he should have read the rules over like Ashley did. Here he goes, crying in confessionals again. He's the stupidest person on the planet, can't read directions. Oh, the pity parties are endless with this guy. Could you imagine dating this guy? He's worse than a Pisces, and I'm a Pisces, so I know. Okay, now this is where Morgan should have gotten the egg, was this meltdown. No, you're right, Miss St. Pete. He is very draining. And yeah, action packed. Callie was right, lying or crying. Cheryl, Vince did have a 20-minute head start because he finished the first part before Ashley. Oh, yay, it's the mastermind. Morgan does have compassion and empathy, DD. Or she's just playing the game. Oh, it's Dr. Will. Who knew? Speaking of Dr. Will, on Patreon, I'm watching Big Brother 2. You know, something I hate about Dr. Will is he doesn't have the balls to try and play another game. Not that he should play Big Brother, but he could have played the Traitors. Always John says no sympathy for Vince. Will lost the blockbuster because he didn't understand the rules. True. And Rachel got eliminated from a challenge without being nominated or evicted. So it is very, very hard to feel sorry for Vince. I mean, Vince is getting a terrible edit tonight. So this edit makes me hope to believe the jury doesn't respect him too much. Sorry, Esther, if I'm spoiling you over on the West Coast. CJ, he is the sorest of sore losers. Morgan is fake crying in this DR. I mean, you're right, Miss St. Pete. I mean, the way Vince has acted all weekend, how could you not give him this edit? But Big Brother tends to give some people better edits than they deserve, as we saw this season. I try, Esther. I can't fake the funk most of the time. Well, Morgan, sorry if I have to spoil things for you. Yeah, Latasha, they love a problematic male. They give problematic males the best edits every season these days. The big part 3 is coming up next. Vince is always being a pussy. Ah. Yeah, action packed, and apparently he didn't even read the rules good enough. Because oh, was he on Deal or No Deal Island, Doctor Will? I don't watch that. I'll cut him some slack then if he has played another game. You're not wrong, Cheryl, about Julie. Julie irritates me so much outside of the show with her interviews and her talking about the game. Love one another, but then she'll give the worst takes about people and be judgmental about them. But Julie's not as irritating as my Dallas Cowboys getting their asses kicked, but it's no surprise. Yeah, Cheryl, Julie does always take the men's side these days. Jazz Lady says Will was on Deal or No Deal Island. Did he win? I assume he lost. For anyone just joining, I'm watching some of the Cowboy game during commercials, but I need to stop, even though they just got a safety, so I'm against the Packers. What up, Mary Duda? Oh, that's right, Jazz Lady. I'm assuming he didn't win, or I probably would have known about it or read about it somewhere. Yeah, that's true, Jazz Lady. The talk is no more. Beyond the Gates took its place. Yay, love that for me. Well, the Cowboys are my favorite losers, but I could deal without saying Keanu. Mary Duda, this has been an exhausting season at times. But like I said this morning, it's been fun. I've enjoyed dragging this cast when I could. Julie is the OG homewrecker, Mary says. Yeah. And she won't let anything wreck her home, even if, her husband gets in trouble doing things badly. Oh, the Chiefs, Mr. Ty. Congrats to your Chiefs. I'm just glad the Bears won today. That's my second team. And they almost didn't win. What's up, Mary Duda? Yeah, I watched the first episode. I did a stream about it the other day here on the channel somewhere. Yeah, Enzo was a big old flop. Congrats to your lines, T.W. Well, the episode's back on Paramount Plus Live. Let's see who wins this third part of the HOH comp. Place your bets in the chat. Who's going to win between Morgan and Ashley in this part 3? It did, Cheryl, starting now. So they have to answer the questions the jury answered. So they have to find the false statements that each jury member is making out of 3. They both look kind of nervous to me, Eloise Jones. You're right, Esther. Morgan did not rest. Yeah, it really can go either way. It's Rachel. I don't know what competition the BB break-in was, to be honest. Murray Duda actually said she was taking Vince. You're right, Cheryl. It might have been sabotaged by Vince to Morgan. They're both correct. 1-1, Morgan Ashley. It's Will's turn. This is a tough one. I would lose in one of these games, and my memory is getting worse as I age. I was thinking B or C. Oh, they said different answers. Oh, Ashley goes ahead. 2-1. It might be Ashley's, honestly, if she got that one. You're not wrong, Mary Duda, but I don't think Morgan's going to win this part 3. Has to be B or C, right? Oh, Morgan's wrong, I think. Ashley's killing Morgan in this. I think Morgan's getting the boot. Which up, D Jong. Well, Mary Duda, I think it comes down to Keanu's vote, actually. Although he wasn't very gung ho on Ashley in the jury video. Ashley's got every single one right. That's enough. Ashley won. Well, Ashley will get to decide to evict Morgan or Vince. Morgan might have Became a comp beast until the one she needed most. She did, Drew. Morgan lost pretty badly. Ashley handed it to her there. Vince might have helped Morgan choke by not letting her sleep last night, keeping her up whining all night. You're right, DJ. Winning a competition first and last. It would be great for the game for Ashley to win by only winning 2 comps, important comps, instead of making all these people pretend that the competitions are the most important part of the game and this is the challenge. Deduction, she really did smoke her ass. Mary Duda really thinks Vince is going to win. He has a better shot against Ashley. Well, I don't know. I still think he had a shot against Morgan too. Vince has to own his game, Mary Duda. I can't see Vince winning without owning his game. Although we have dealt with some of the dumbest players ever all season. So maybe they do still vote for Vince without him owning his game. But that is quite literally unprecedented in the annals of history on Big Brother Survivor. You're right, Chocolate Capricorn. Ashley was power napping, studying. Action Pack says Vince definitely screwed Morgan over by keeping her up all night. She should have known better, though. She should have been used to that, staying up all night with Vince. That's like her most fun thing she does on the feeds these past few weeks. No, you're right, though, Action Pack. She knows you got to rest for performance. I think she still would have lost to Ashley, though, if she had gotten more time to study. That was a tough competition, and Ashley was not missing. That's true, Jazz Lady, with Will spilling Ashley's secret. I mean, it's not that it hurts Ashley that Will. I mean, hurts Ashley in the sense of that was one of her big deals for her final speech. But hopefully she will have more to her speech than that. She was just a lawyer. She still needs to explain her game well. You're right, Mary Duda. It is very Steve and Vanessa. Yeah, if Ashley takes Vince and loses to him, I mean that means she would have lost to Morgan too. So there was nothing she could do. Devin's rooting for Ashley. Wow, how far you've come, Devin. How far you've come. You're right, Chocolate Capricorn. Will told Ashley not to tell anyone. I don't know, Action Pack. You don't think Rachel wants them to be not bitter at all? Although that might make Kelly and Lauren want to be bitter and not listen to Rachel. Dina's rooting for Ashley. D Gator says this is going to be tough on Morgan. Yeah. But that is the game. I mean, you're right, T.W. I would hope they don't care that Rachel doesn't want a bitter jury, so we have to listen to Rachel. You think they're actually buddies, Gator? I don't know. Kelly, behind her back, is probably still wishing all bad things to her family. It's a no for me, Cheryl. Morgan feels bad for Morgan. I don't know about Survivor for Morgan, but I can see her on the challenge. She should be on the challenge. That's true action-packed. Rachel should not be the cause of her nemesis beating her ally, that's very anti-Rachel. We'll see if Tucker makes a move on Morgan post-game. Ashley had a great endgame. She was guaranteed a final two basically after this weekend. The weasel does look relieved. Devin. He's done more than hold hands this season. But Ashley has evicted Morgan from the game. Yeah, Drew, Ashley's been wanting Morgan out since about week 2. Early in the game, Ashley called out Morgan for trying to run the game, and by the end, Ashley was right, like she always is. Morgan doesn't seem bitter, so good on her. She's a gamer at heart. She could go reveal it to the jury right now. I'm a streamer on Twitch that plays games. I'm not bitter. It was the best move for Ashley. I mean, I do think Morgan's going to vote for Vince to win. But Ashley choosing Morgan to go to final two at this point, I think she has a harder chance of getting votes. Yeah. With Vince has to own his game. That's what it comes down to. Every finale, I feel like they cut to the fish. Vince does have more confidence. Well, but I think that's because he thought he was going home against Morgan. That is poetic justice. Ashley versus the person that made her a house target in week 1 as HOH. Well, don't break your TV, Chocolate Capricorn. If I don't break my computer, watching the Cowboys get their asses kicked, you don't got to break your TV screen for Vince. Morgan's saying they're best friends, just best friends, him and Vince. I want to see where their story goes from here. Theo, they're both Sims, just two Sims together. I don't know how that works in a relationship, but Murray Duda's blaming Cody. I might blame Rachel. I might have a roast of Rachel tomorrow if she's the cause of Vince winning. Look at Vince going over his speech back there. Morgan took this very well. Very much a gamer. Yeah, Dina. And yeah, Cheryl, Vince. Well, we can't hear Vince. We just see him on screen every once in a while. He seems like he's going over his speech. Yeah, Morgan's voting for Vince, I would assume. Unless Vince totally bombs his answers, which is possible with Vince if he's going to not own his game. Yeah, we're halfway through this thing. Oh, and my Cowboys aren't even on halftime yet. Just torturous, I tell you. D Gator says he'll try to take credit for everything and say Morgan had no impact on his decisions. Well, then he might lose Morgan's vote if he does that. So he can't quite do that either. Dina says Rachel said that she would not be guiding the jury. Also, Rachel, I will not allow a bitter jury. I know. Just eye roll worthy. Devin says my father-in-law has sleep apnea. Are you with your father-in-law? Sarah's very excited for Ashley. Me too. She gotta get 4 votes against Vince though. D Jong said would love if he loses Morgan's vote. Me too. Chocolate Capricorn says in her interviews, Rachel said she would vote for Ashley. I mean, I would be quite surprised if Rachel doesn't vote for Ashley. Rachel and Will should at least vote for Ashley. And I think Will. Sarah says she cut Morgan and won the last 2 HOH. Is so impressive. For anybody just joining, I'm watching the Cowboys during the commercial breaks. Not that I should be. Really hope they score on this drive, though. That'd be nice. T. Dot says from the block, the first week to the final 2, give the girl the money. I mean, it's the best story. Chocolate Capricorn says, please, Ava, come through. I mean, Ava, at least in the edit of the jury segment, sounded like the smartest juror, which is, shocking for someone that's been asleep a lot this season. But one thing I have always liked about Ava, she does try to keep it real. Sometimes she goes too far and says things that she thinks America's going to like her to say, but she tries to keep it real. Ava's had the best read on Vince this entire game, so I'll give her that. Yes, Theo, it is a rough game. I mean, I expect it from them though. Until a certain owner goes bye-bye, it's going to be the same thing every year. Odell says Team Ashley. Mary Dita says it would mean nothing. Their minds is already made up. What's up, Kamisha, long time subscriber. But Mary Dita, I mean, I think jury answers can still change people's minds, especially this season, because it's so close. If someone bombs these answers, it could definitely change the game, I think. Odell hates that Vince gets any money. Yeah. And he's probably going to be on the Bold and the Beautiful with Morgan, so he's going to get more money. Dina says Ashley better use that Georgetown degree to answer these questions. She needs to. I do think Ashley needs a strong performance to seal the deal, unless Vince doesn't own his game. If Vince doesn't own his game, he can't win. Theo says Vince cried his way to second place. Devin says now that Vinny's getting money, watch Kelsey come back to him. Maybe only if Vince wins first place will Kelsey come back. Odell, I don't know. I think Facebook is strong for Keanu to win America's favorite player. I don't really care about AFP, though, to be honest. Mimi wants Ashley to win. Devin's, of course, rooting for Keanu to win AFP, and the sky is blue. Always John says this is Vince's highest paying job. Fair enough. Maurice says Ashley gave Vince the check. The jury loves his game. Well, Rachel said anybody but Ashley, so that's a good sign. Will and Rachel high-fiving. That is not Ashley. Ava in shock. If anybody should be happy, it's honestly probably Lauren. Yeah, they do hate Vince, Action Pack. You're right. Rachel's so excited. Keanu also looks shocked by that the most. Lauren and Callie look upset. Yeah, if we're judging by reactions, there's a lot of excitement and a lot of hate for Vince already. So I think my everything I've been saying for days, Vince has to own his game. It's his only shot. The big odds of voting for Vince right now are Callie and Lauren. Oof. Okay, so he's already not owning his game. He was emotionally manipulated the entire time. Strike one for Vince. Typical chicken shit player can't own their games, which is if you're going to play that way, it's the main thing you have to do at the end. That's not standing by your game, though, Vince. That's the problem. I don't think that was a good answer, personally. Thank you, Cheryl, for the thanks. Hope you get some good sleep. Enjoy the finale tomorrow. Ashley killed this question, and yeah, you guys are right. Rachel did give her a layup. The lawyer is coming through. I mean, actually, I could have done better than that. Camille says Vince thinks his tears make him deserving of the win. Apparently, it's like a slightly different question, Ashley Johns, giving him a second chance to own his game. I mean, Vince had real tears a lot. So maybe either he's a great actor, like somebody said earlier, or Keanu's shaking his head. It's going to be hard for Vince to get 4 votes right now. Ashley killed it again. Kelly clapping. I don't know, but by some of these faces, Mary Duda, I don't know. I don't know, Dina. Lauren might have rehearsed that for 3 days straight. Vince is struggling to answer the question now. Exactly, action packed. Oh, Ashley just killed another answer. Turning her allies into enemies like Vince, she turned her enemies into allies. True. Chocolate Capricorn, right? Ashley is eating. Her lawyer is out. I would hire her for me. Exactly, Kamisha. That was the best line so far of any of these answers. Let's see what Morgan asks. You're right, Dina. Crying was the strongest part of this game. You know, Vince had a strong social game. He just used it in all the wrong ways. Kelly's does not seem to like Vince's answer, even though this was his best answer so far. Yeah, he did try to steal Ashley's line there, make it his own. That's right. He did. That was his best answer because he did own some of his game. Well, I don't know. Judging by all those reactions, I'll be surprised if Vince has 2 votes, to be honest. Oh, the Cowboys scored while I was away. At least that's something. Yeah, I don't know about Keanu. Kelly made some faces at Vince a lot. Ava made a lot of faces at Vince. Keanu and Lauren were the hardest to actually read. I think they're the ones that could still maybe be swayed to vote for Vince, maybe by that last answer. I don't know. Thank you for watching, Chocolate Capricorn. Thank Always Johns for suggesting I do this. Which, by the way, do I have an echo in this room? T-Dot says he better give that 75K to his parents. He's probably going to give half of it to Kelsey and beg her to take him back. Dina says Keanu was shaking his head yeah, that's true. He did shake his head in approval at one point to Ashley. Mr. Ty said, I'm so proud of Ashley. She killed Vince in the Q&A. Oh, yeah. The lawyer was lawyering. What's up, Auntie Rachel? Dina says he'll be paying his loan sharks off. He looks like the type that does have loan sharks. You said you thought Ava made faces at Ashley? I thought she made a face at Vince at one point, too. T-Dot says it's 0-7. With typical players in a typical season where there is logic, it would be by far 7-0. Yeah, D Gator says Kelly laughing during Vince's answer, not a good sign. Vince turned white and looks like he's going to cry. You a Cowboys fan, Odell? And T Dot? Always John says no way 4-3. You think it's going to be a 4-3 vote still? I don't know. I see 5-2 at best for Vince, judging by reactions only. Sangfroid says, I'm dead. OMG, more God filled. Your girl's gonna. Here's hoping. I think in terms of Big Brother, especially recent seasons of Big Brother, when they only give people a minute to answer questions, nobody's answered questions as good as Ashley that I can remember in the past 8 seasons. Nobody. I feel like Taylor had good answers during her season that I can recall. Chelsea had good answers last season too, and yet Ashley just blew them both out of the water. Oh shit, Cowboys scored again. Oh, Ashley might win and the Cowboys might win. I might have a great night tonight. Ah, you're an Aaron Rodgers fan. Interesting. So you're rooting for the Steelers now? Well, it's halftime on the game, so I can focus on this episode now. It's still on commercial. And I'm almost out of vodka. Always John says a losing team and a winning BB player. They both might win tonight, Always Johns. I'm not going to block you. Sangford said, dude, I hope you have a great night. This is going to be a great end to BB27. You too, Sangford. Have a great night too. Lori says, go Cowboys. Lori, you're a Cowboy fan? I guess New Mexico tends to love Cowboy fans. Sunshine says, Ashley was my pick from the beginning, but it all depends on the reaction to her. I loved Ashley since the minute the feeds turned on. She was great. Dina says, if Ashley wins, she'll be the first non-traditional Black woman. Oh my God. Let's see their final speeches before Julie cuts them off after 45 seconds. Ashley bringing up shower, great, love it. Oh my god, the Alwoods. Well, Morgan at least was finding that out for the first time. Yeah, Kamisha Ashley should have went second because Vince is gonna just lie. Imagine if the editing on this team could actually show Ashley's game. It would have made the future seasons better because everyone would be so worried about comps. They'd see that social game is good and that you could be strategic by not winning comps all the time. Kika says Vince is going to cry during his comp. Always Jones. Maybe. He's going to reveal this was one long audition to be on The Bold and the Beautiful. Oh, here's Vince, all about competitions. Damn, I'm sure wish this was the challenge. Keanu looks disgusted. Yeah, it's a good speech. Yeah, it's going to be closer now after that speech, maybe. I can't read Kelly, though. I still feel like she's not liking Vince. Well, Rachel made a lot more sense than her edit at the jury. I do think those are Ashley's strongest votes, Rachel, Will, Keanu. Oh, well. Kelly might be learning towards Ashley if that's what that sounded like, which is what I was reading from her reactions to everything. Who knows with fucking Lauren? Who cares either? I think Ava voted for Ashley. Well, who knows with Lauren and Keanu? But Rachel, Will, Callie, Ava did seem leaning towards Ashley. Production does hate Ashley, but Ashley hates them right back, and that's even more reasons why I love her. Ugh, more mastermind. Who was that, Missy? I do think it's going to be tight, Sunshine. I mean, Kelly said she was voting for who had the best social game. Kelly is dumb enough to say that about Vince and still, vote for him. Sangford thinks they all voted for Ashley. I don't know about Morgan, but I can see the rest of them going that way. Kamisha says Vince has Lauren, Keanu, Morgan, Ashley has Rachel, Will, Ava, Kelly. That's the way I read it. Although, who could tell with Lauren? Michelle says Vince don't need to win with all that crying. I really do hate all the crying on these reality shows these days. Yeah, I think Morgan for sure voted for Vince, and she always was gonna. Yeah, Johns, I mean, Vince had nothing to cry about tonight. He got his final two. He got at least 75K. At the accomplish. I don't know who that is. Pretty Proud says, I need Ashley to win. Felicia thinks it's Ashley. Well, we'll find out in about 20 minutes. Thank you, Odell, for watching. T. Fairbanks says Vince is an awful player. He should share any money with Ashley and Lauren. Mary Duda said, Lauren, stand up, you dumb cow. I mean, I guess we should at least be thankful that Lauren can at least stand since she can't talk. The football game is still at halftime. Sangford said Vince called Lauren his best friend, so Morgan voted Ashley. I'm surprised I didn't sway her, actually. It's a great point, Murray Duda. Or Sangford, who said that. Murray Duda says it's a Vince. If is Vince Keanu win tonight, disgusting. Yeah, Vince wins the game and Keanu wins AFP. Yeah, the most surprising thing for me would be if Morgan voted for Ashley to win, actually. Yeah, they're not going to announce it till the end of the episode, so we still got 20 minutes. Yeah, Sunshine. If Ashley wins, it's a big upset from being the first house target to winning the game. Thank you, always, Johns. Appreciate it. And you're going to apply for next season in the chat? You could be the next Riley if you apply for the game. Speaking of Riley, there he is in his ugly hat. We should have a winter BB. I mean, damn, at least celebrity. Always, John, do you really think Lauren likes Vince? He's definitely more of her family's type than Zach is. Michael says Zach looks great. I wasn't thrilled with him wearing the black shirt and a pink bandana around the neck. It looks like West Side Story. Oh, well, Morgan's going to love to hear that. Oh, Mickey, Mickey, Mickey. Morgan did play a great game. Is Mickey finally admitting it was a dumb move? Somewhat. It's still going, Janet. We won't know for another 15 minutes. T-Dot, she should have won the final competition. Janet, Ashley, and Vince are final two. Let's hear about Catherine and the Showmans. Oh, Catherine's going to be baby mama number 3. Congrats to Catherine. Then he's going to leave her and the baby behind. She does not have a sweetheart. And they are meant to be because she's trash too, so. I wish them and their future baby the best. They do deserve each other, action-packed. The only thing Amy did all damn season. Why does Big Brother do this cheesy shit? Do you think it's Boogie under there to get revenge on Dr. Will finally? Oh my God, stupid. It's always underwhelming. He's not even a good pro wrestler, so why did they bring him here? It's just a giant waste of time, Jazz Lady. Why must they waste our time with lame shit? Tyler. Okay, this is a good one. This is a good one, actually. Actually screwed over. Everyone in the comments is like, what is this? I don't know. Big brother being big brother. Because nobody cares. That's why nobody suspected the thing. It doesn't matter. Is the Cowboy game back yet? Because this is stupid. We never need 2 hours married, dude, if they're gonna do shit like this. It's still going, Colbert. They're wasting our time with stupid shit. Poor Rachel. They didn't pay her enough to return for this shit. Very cringe, Jazz Lady. You're right, Mr. Ty. They definitely don't know who Eric is. If anybody deserved to play again, it was Eric. Well, we should hopefully be finding out after the next commercial. Dina says they could have let Ashley finish her speech with that waste of time. Facts. They cut Ashley off way too soon. Chocolate says, I need to stop watching BB. I take this way too serious. Yeah, if you were ready to break your TV over Vince winning and this is the kind of shit they give you, I don't know. You might need to calm down, Chocolate Capricorn. Mary Duda says, I hope traders sue them. You know, they did have like a traders like roundtable. Y'all are cracking me up in the chat. T-Dot says, I've been watching since season 1. It just keeps getting worse. I mean, it definitely gets more and more cringe every year, it seems like. Lisa says, hi, everyone. Who won, please? We will know in the next 5 minutes, I think. Yes, shout out to Dina for putting you over here. Thank you, Dina. I appreciate it. Everyone go watch Dina as well. Yep, Colbert Morgan lost the final part three of the final HOH, and Ashley cut her. Yes, Dina, we are the cynical BB recappers. It's true. Oh, here we go. Lisa, she took it pretty well, actually. For Vince. Morgan has voted for Vince. The least surprising vote. Ava has voted for Ashley. That's a good sign. Keanu voted for Ashley. It's over. There's no way Ashley lost. For Ashley. Oh, I think they all voted for Ashley except for Morgan. Yeah, love to see it. What a great player. What an entertaining person on feeds. Couldn't have it any other way. Love it for her. Great player. The casuals are probably throwing up, wondering how could Ashley have won because she didn't have an edit. She was just dumb. And that's why casuals are the dumbest people alive. Love it. I guess I kind of did call it Lori, even though I first fell in love with her for her entertaining, her Sagittarius trait of just saying things to people's faces. But she turned out to be quite a player too, with an amazing social game. Amy's so excited for Ashley. She should be. You're right, Mary Duda. Production, Julie and Vince did lose. Production, the biggest losers. I mean, they are every season. I feel like after every season, I have to say production sucks. Ashley with her two biggest allies, besides Will, I suppose. Oh, I guess we still have AFP. Not that I care, but we'll see Keanu win AFP, I suppose. Ah, that was great. Good winner. Me too, Kamisa. I am so happy as well. You know, rarely my favorite wins the season, so the people I like most are not always the best players, but this season, love it. Dina says, wow, expect the unexpected. They aren't as dumb after all. Yes, they are. They're still pretty dumb, but you know, at least they weren't the exception to the rule that if someone makes the end and doesn't own their game well enough, they never win. Vince tried by the end in his last answer and by his exit, well, not his exit interview, but his why he should win. He tried to own his game more, but I think it was Ori's always biased against black women. He's a bloated snowman, as I called him last season. Auntie Rachel says, "You've been Team Ashley from the beginning. So great pick. Thank you. Thank you." Jazz Lady says, "So happy as well. You and Dina are good at picking the winner from the beginning." I don't know if I'm always good at picking the winner from the beginning, but glad I was this year. Murray Duda says 6-1 seems fair to Ashley. I agree. Morgan didn't have time to discuss things with the jury. And maybe Morgan really does want to be with Vince after the show. That's going to be my biggest question over the next week or two while I still give a little shit about these people. Sarah says, "So happy." Yes, Ashley. Lisa says, "Thank you for going live for us." Thank you for watching, Lisa. Auntie Rachel says, "Yes, so true about Ori." Sangford says, "This has been so fun." Lori says, "Uh-oh, what's Vince going to do now?" Well, he did get 75K, Lori, so will he try and use that money to get back with Kelsey? Or will he and Morgan really get together after they star on The Bold and the Beautiful together? I don't know. Dina says Vince will still need to get a job. Yeah, maybe he has a little bit of time, though, with his 75K, unless he has to give it to his parents. Viva says, "Honestly, Vince made Morgan lose all that whining all night." True. Action Pack said, "This is a W for the social aspect of BB." It is. It really is. But the fucking edit didn't show it. That's the big problem going forward. People are going to watch BB27 and be like, what? So we're still going to have dumb players that just one-on-one competitions for the foreseeable future, I fear. Mary Duda. Sarah says, "Vince lost to the girl who he whined never deserved it. So poetic." It really is poetic. Sangford said, "Well, he made 25K more than her. Guess he owes her Christmas presents." Yes. Jazz Lady was surprised about Lauren's vote. Yeah, me too. Dina says, "Now that I don't care that Kenna will win AFP me either." Hopefully that show's done with after this season. No more BB Unlocked. Action Pack says he has 1 vote and no girlfriends. He might still try and have 2 Action Packed. He's going to try. Yeah, Keanu. Just think if the show wasn't so worried about giving Keanu an edit he didn't deserve, maybe Ashley could have got a better edit. But instead, we got to make the man who's dumb as rocks look good. But Devin's going to be so happy. Devin's going to take this victory for the next week. Right, Devin? Well, I was right about that too. I said about 4th week, America loves a dummy. And there you go. Well, I guess a win for loyalty tonight. I'm sure Kelsey feels the same way out there somewhere. Well, that about does it. D Jong says, yes, Ashley won. I could finally go to bed. It's 4:30 here. Damn, D Jong, where are you watching this from? The UK, somewhere out there? BB says Keanu by 65% of it. Jesus Christ. People really, really love Keanu out there. Rachel says, well, maybe I will start doing my house chores. Me too. Me too, Auntie Rachel. Maybe I could do more chores. Hello, Janelle from Minnesota. T. Dot says, incredibly crappy season. Always John says, thank you so much, Nick. It was fun. Thank you for suggesting this. Always John's. I'll try and do it more next season. We'll see what the cast is like next season. I'll also probably do a video tomorrow on Ashley's win. But for now, I got to go watch the Cowboys lose, I fear. But I want to thank you all for joining me. I've had so much fun this season talking shit, talking to y'all. Cookie says, nice to see you smile. It was a good night until the Cowboys lose and piss me off later. It was a good night so far. Jazz Lady says, thank you so kindly for this. Good night, Dina. Thank you, Deanna. T. Dot says, thanks for chatting live. Sangford says, good luck to the Cowboys. Thank you. Thank you. All right, I'm signing off for the night, but I will be back tomorrow to talk about Ashley, my girl, winning